Good morning. It's time now to talk about bikes and the new technology, and Ian's with us. Now, this is a Canadian company we're talking about?
Yeah, a really hot, popular Canadian company who very technology driven, high emphasis on engineering. They make a beautiful product. They perform in the Tour de France. They're a world leader. And they're Canadian.
It's so light.
I know. Do you want to just like pick this up?
Yeah, like with one hand, it was just like no problem.
It's like nothing.
Like it is, it's air.
All carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Even though it's painted, it's very high tech and very light, very stiff, very strong.
Okay, so explain to us, and we were talking about this earlier in the break, just about, I mean, there's so many different price ranges for bikes.
Right.
I mean, you can get a bike for $13,000. But what's the difference?
The difference is the weight of the bike, the feel of the ride of the bike, and those are primarily the big differences. Depending on what wheel set you put on the bike, that bumps the price of the bike up substantially.
Because those can be thousands of dollars.
They can on their own, exactly. After a certain point, after about $5,000 or $6,000, your returns are marginal at that point.
Yeah.
Most people who are fairly serious about, again, about recreational triathlon or bike racing or recreational riding spend somewhere in the neighborhood of about $2,000 to about $3,500 on their bike. But there's lots of other things to get too.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. We've got all kinds of accessories gathered here. So what are some of the necessities?
Well, you know, a good pair of shorts.
Yeah.
You'll thank yourself later.
Really,
when you're sitting in the saddle for so long.
The padding in the bum?
Oh, yeah, you just feel that. It's like, it feels almost like a diaper. But...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And of course, a helmet. All right.
Okay, and then again, I mean, the technology with helmets.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, about how the more expensive helmets are a little bit lighter. They have more ventilation, and they also, in some ways, are a little safer. They can sustain a multiple impact in one crash. So
not just one and it's done.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Other little esoteric things like cycling shoes that are very specific to the sport. Aren't those fancy? White
those are
too,
fancy.
Aren't those nice?
Yeah, those are dancing shoes.
They are, and they have a carbon fiber sole to make that bottom of the shoe a little stiffer. And also, what happens when you get a flat tire? You need a spare tube. What happens? You get your cell phone out and call a taxi.
Help, SOS.
Spare tube, something to pump it up with. Today, a lot of riders will choose while they're out on the road to use these CO2 cartridges instead of a hand pump. It fills up the tire very quickly. Take a look at that.
A lot less space in
exactly.
Back.
Yep. And then a couple little tire levers to help pop the tire off when you're putting the new tube in.
In case of emergency.
Yes.
Gloves are also a big thing.
Gloves are good too. I mean, there are really only 3 points of contact with your bike. There's your backside, your hands, and your feet. So those things you want to look after and make sure you spend the most amount of money in making sure that those are comfortable and that the fit is really good and really, really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, there you go, guys. Just a little small look inside the different bikes and the technology. Certainly, if, like we said, you're biking to work every day, your needs would be different than someone who's performing, a couple triathlons a year.
But the fundamentals of those needs are the same. Good fit on the bike.
Exactly.
And equipment that really feels good for you.
And you can do a special fitting here.
We have a couple of wonderful tools that will guarantee that the bike that you get, whatever price level it is, fits you perfectly, and we'll set it up to make sure that you really enjoy your riding.
Ian is a fitting specialist, and you need to come and see the fitting specialist. Coming up, guys, we're going to talk to the repair specialist, who's going to tell you what you need to be doing to keep your bike ready and able to be on the road.
Time to get it tuned up, right?
That's right.